Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Cody here, and I was actually working on some listings here on eBay, and while I was over there, I thought, it's about time I did a sales update video to show you some things that I've sold here on eBay. So I probably won't show you other sites that I've sold on, but this will be specifically for eBay, so things that I've sold on eBay, probably this past week or so. So I'm going to get straight into the video. So my main goal for making this video is that you guys can keep a lookout for these type of items for when you go out sourcing for products and possibly pick them up for a nice cheap dollar and be able to flip them for some profit. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first item I've got here is this really nice Levi's denim jacket. This actually literally sold about an hour or so ago and I just shipped it out. So this is a Levi's, as I said. Now it has like the Sherpa, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it's some kind of like fur, a shearling fur, which is what I wrote in the title there. But it was made in the USA, size extra large. It was a really nice jacket. This one actually did sit around for a little bit, but I eventually moved it on. I sold it for $65. Again, eBay doesn't show how much it actually sold for, but I think I paid around $20 or so for this one, and that sold for 65. But close up there are the fur, really nice fur collar, and it was denim. It had a stain on the inside there, as you can see, and it had really cool buttons, so I just made sure to take a real nice photo of that. And it had like a different colored Levi tab there on the chest. Normally it's red, but this one was a bit different. I think it might have been more of a vintage piece. Here's a look at the tag as well. But yeah, it was a really cool piece. Next, I sold a pair of these Doc Martens. These were the original Made in England ones. The Made in England, from what I believe anyway, can bring in a lot more money than the Made in China or wherever else they make them. Because Made in England means that they're the original version of these boots. So these boots they had the 8 holes, lace holes down the side there. And as you can see here at the front, they actually had a bit of white marking. I polished up these shoes, tried to clean them as much as I possibly could. That marking didn't ever come off. Might have been some kind of, house paint or something permanent. But I made sure to take really good photos of that just to show that. And they still sold, and I must say, they sold really quickly as well. I sold these yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday. But I had them listed for about 5 hours or so, and they sold. And I think I took 62.50. They sent me a few offers, and those ones I paid $15 for. See if I can get a few more shots of some photos here. So yeah, just quickly scroll through, show you guys what's happened with these boots. So they're the original Dr. Martens, made in England. As you can see right there, it says made in England on the sole. And here is a closer photo of that paint or whatever else it was on the toe there. But the Doc Marten boots are really distinctive boots. If you're looking in the shoe aisle, you'll be able to notice them with, as you can see here, that yellow sort of stitching along the side. That's a good indicator that these are the Dr. Marten boots. And also, if you saw the tab on the back here, it's like a yellow tab, yellow and black tab there on the back. Really distinctive boots. They sort of have a similar colorway to like R. William boots. Yeah, but these boots are a really fast seller. Another fast seller was this iPod Nano 4th generation. This sold super quick too, within like 12 hours, like those boots as well. I put it up for 65. I think I took about 61, free shipping. Shipping cost me around $7.50, and I shipped those off. And I think I actually picked this up, I think from a Savers for about $10-15 or something like that. So to sell it for 61, free shipping, that's pretty cool. Just made sure it worked and everything, and it actually had songs on it still from the previous owner. But just again, I'll quickly scroll through and show you guys the photos. It did have a bit of scratching on the side and stuff, 8 GB. And yeah, that's just about it for that one. Then I sold a pair of Nudie Jeans. These are the Grim Tim blue denim jeans. Really nice jeans. I sold these for about 40 bucks on the offer. And again, these are really cool. They were the waist 32. I would have paid around $8 or so for these, and I picked these up, really consistently at op shops. Like I just went thrifting today, and I picked up another pair, and they're a really good seller. So just be on the lookout for the Nudie branded jeans. I haven't really executed on the bidding side of eBay, even though eBay is renowned for being a bidding site. I normally just do a best offer, like I buy it now with a best offer. But with this particular item, I knew it was an in-demand item. It's a really popular brand. People love the Burberry stuff. So I chucked this Burberry Brits white polo shirt up. I don't even know how much I put it up for. So I'll put it up for $35, and I was happy to at least get 35 out of it, but it sold for 41 here, as you can see, and I paid $4 for this one. But it was a really nice piece. It had the Nova checks going on right there under the buttons. Here's another high-end branded polo shirt. This is a Hermes polo shirt. This was a white one, as you can see, and it was size extra large, made in Italy, cotton, really nice piece. And I'm sort of cringing a little bit of how much I got for this. I paid $4 for it, but it sold for 50, which I'm pretty happy with, I must say. But then again, I could have waited it out and not done a bid and, you know, put it up at a best offer, and maybe I could have got 120, 150 maybe, depending. I saw the sold listings going for that much. But you know, I just wanted to play around with the bidding and see what would happen. And anyway, this sold, you know, quickly. It sold, you know, in a week, considering the bidding time. But, you know, sometimes this stuff sits around if you have it up at a higher price. And, you know, my business motto right now is to quickly move stuff out the door. And, you know, I'm happy with $50 considering I spent $4. The Vibram 5 Fingers, I actually sold these for $40, brand new with tags. These were a really small women's size of 36. Not sure what that actually equates to a US. But anyway, I sold these for 40, as I said, and I think I picked these up for about $8. But it was pretty cool to see that they were brand new with tags. If they were a men's brand new with tags, you know, they would have sold for a lot more. But I'm happy with $40 for these. So I sold another pair of these really nice Asics women's shoes, the Kayano 21s. Size US 9.5. These sold for about 55. I think I took an offer for. And these ones I paid around $8 or so for those from a Savers. But I'm always looking out for these type of Asics shoes when I go to the thrift. And I must say there's actually quite an abundance of them. So I actually picked up 2 of these Vulcan Nerf guns, the EBF 25 toy machine guns. And I just sold one for $40, and I packed this up. I made sure to bubble wrap it, and then I got like a huge cardboard box, flattened the box, and taped up one end of the box, stuck the gun in, and then taped up the other end. So it looked like an obscure sort of teardrop shaped parcel, and I got that out. And you know, they paid $17 for shipping, and you know, it cost me about 15 or so to ship it, plus the extra couple of bucks for materials like the box and the bubble wrap and the tape and things that you actually use to construct the parcel and get it out the door. I think I paid around $8 for both of them because I picked up 2. As you can see right there, there is another one sitting up there on the shelf, and that's my last one that I have for sale there. And no doubt that one will sell for $40 as well. Also, I should mention you could probably get a bit more money for them if it includes the ammunition belt, which runs along the top here. This had the tripod and the bullet box, or whatever you call that thing. And I don't think there's any other pieces that it requires. But also, just make sure if you're going to send it internationally, I've said this before in one of my videos, to take out the batteries that sit along the back bottom there. Just unscrew the screw and get the batteries out. Because if you have batteries in there and you ship it off, sometimes they can return it back to you, get you to take the batteries out and ship it back out again. That's what they did with me anyway. So just be careful with that. So I actually thought this was a cool little flip. I sold this for 25 and I picked up about 4 or 5 of these belt buckles, R.M. Williams belt buckles, for about $3 a piece. And I sold all of them for $25 each. So I made about $100 from spending about $13 on all these belt buckles. And I just wanted to show you guys this particular one. This is probably my most favorable one of the bunch that I picked up, because it had like the RMW and then the bull along the front there, which was really cool. The other ones were just like a general sort of oval shaped one. I probably could have asked like $30 for this one, considering it was a bit different than the others. But you know, $3 into 25, that's cool. On to the next item. Next piece was a Fred Perry button front long sleeve shirt, size medium. I think I might have shown this in one of my other sales update videos, I hope not. But anyway, I sold this one for about $39 on the offer. And again, you know, I pay like anywhere from $5 to a max of $10 for these. I actually just picked up a brand new with tags one. I paid $15 for that, but I'm expecting to put that up, you know, for about the same price of $50 because it's just a plain white color. But I'm going to put it up at a bid, and you know, we might get a bidding war there and see what will happen. But again, I sold this one for about $39. So I actually picked up about 4 or 5 of these type of calculators, and I think a few others of them were the TI-89 as well. And I actually just picked these up as it was transitioning off the sort of season. These are really hot and sell really quickly. I think a couple of months later, I've ended up selling one of them, which is this one here. I've still got a few more sitting, but no doubt they're going to sell, you know, when kids need to go back to school or whenever the time is. It's really weird when these go really quickly, and sometimes they can sit for a really long time. You just got to sell them in the right peak. But this one sold full price of $80, and I actually picked this up from a cash converters for about $25-30. This Calibre wool cardigan is another item that I sold. Merino wool. It was a size small. I think I took like $35 for this. I paid $8 for it from a Savers. Had a really cool folded collar on the top there. Really nice gold buttons, big, huge buttons. Yeah, but once again, the brand is Calibre, and I'm probably pronouncing that way off. But it's actually a really cool brand to pick up. Then it was time for me to offload some dead stock Ralph Lauren stuff. They were just things, you know, like they weren't the best colors, I guess. Like they were faded colored shirts, and you know, they didn't really attract many buyers individually. So I decided to chuck all 5 of them together, put them up for $99, and they sold. I think I still would have made a profit on these. Yeah, of course I would have made a profit. But as it seems, if you lot really nice shirts like this together, they will sell. There is people out there that want to save a bit of cash buying in bulk, and I still ended up making a bit of money as well. Next sale was a pair of these Subi Van Winkle Exit Dust, brand new with tag jeans. I sold a pair of 32s here, as you can see. During the week, I've sold a few more of these in other sizes as well, size 30, 29, 31s, 33s. But I don't want to bore you with going through all the individual ones that I've sold. I just want to, you know, show you guys. Jeans, sold those. I paid around $4 to $6 a piece, and I sold these ones for $68.50 plus postage. Now, this is something I wouldn't normally pop on, but I picked up this vintage grumpy miners, whatever you want to say. Kind of like a ice hockey jersey. It's actually a Walt Disney piece from the company Disney. And yeah, it's a hockey jersey. So I wouldn't normally pick this up. But, you know, I thought, you know, I might as well have a go at this. I sold it for $40 on the offer. And I actually picked this up for about $5 at a real outback op shop when I went on a trip there a while ago. And this was actually my first proper time of selling a vintage micro cassette recorder, or just any kind of cassette player in general. So I sold this one for $35, and I picked this up from a Savers a while ago for about $3. And I just actually got to testing it, because it's one of my downfalls is actually taking the time out to test out this vintage stuff. Like, I actually found one of these in my collection. It's a Digimon, and these go for like $70 to $150 depending on what you got. But it's like the clear one. I think I might be able to get $70 or something for it. But I just got to get, you know, one of those watch batteries for it and test it out. And I think it works. But I just want to make sure, because you can get top dollar if you test these vintage stuff out. But again, I sold this one for $35. Make sure to test it, worked fine. And, you know, actually put in some keywords here: university lectures, and it's a voice recorder as well. But people will use these for university, just to record their lectures, so then they can play it back and take notes and stuff. So, alright, I think I might start finishing up right now. But I just want to show you 2 more things before I go. So, the first one is this item here. Now, this is actually a brand I've never brought to sell before, and I highly recommend you do the same and do your research and find out what's selling. go to the sold listings and find your niche and look up, you know, if you're into clothing or if you're into electronics or whatever it is, games. Look up that specific category and see what's selling right now. That's the best way to learn. I did that and I actually picked up on this brand here. I never heard of this brand. I made sure to keep memory of this actual brand and, you know, what sort of logo it is. See if I can quickly show you the logo. Here we go. I'll just show you the tag. So I just made sure to keep a memory of, you know, what the logo looked like and what the name of the item was. Brand, I mean. And the brand's Lululemon or whatever, Athletica. So this is actually a brand new with tags polo shirt. I put it up for 50 bucks. I paid, I think, around $12, $13 for this. And I took an offer of about $41.50. This is an item that I would never have picked up. But after doing my research, it made me like 30 bucks. Alright, so I want to finish with this last item. So this is a really cool piece. This was a Castelli 3 extra large cycling vest. Brand new with tags too. So when I found this in the thrift store, my whole body just lit up. I was like, yes, this is an awesome find right here. So I paid around five bucks for this, I think it was. Put it up for 65. I think I sold it for 55. I actually got a message from the customer after they received it, and they were super happy with it. As a typical cyclist would be. It's a really cool piece. So he actually brought this, I think he was in the Northern Territory, and it gets really cold, you know, in the mornings and stuff. And he was super happy with the purchase. He loved it. And yeah, it's really cool to see and hear about positive things for items that you've just sold. And it's a really cool feeling too, that you can take a used, or, you know, in this case, a brand new item that would have been lost forever, basically, in a landmine or wherever. If it wasn't for the thrift store, you go to the thrift store, pick it up, and then I know you're making money too, but you take that item and then you sell it off, and then you take it and give it to a good home, and they really appreciate it. That's the best and ultimate thing about selling things like this, and it's just really cool to get that sort of feedback from a customer after you send off the item to them. So that's it for the video today, everyone. Thank you for watching. I appreciate every one of you watching these videos. It means a lot to me. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And I've realized there's actually been quite a few new subscribers to this channel. So if this is the first time you're watching one of my new videos, I want to thank you too, and I hope you enjoy these videos. So thank you again, everyone, for watching. Remember to like as well, and comment down below any questions or anything that you want to ask me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Catches.